Hey everyone, it's Ace. Welcome back to another video. Massive Battlefield 6 patch notes have been leaked on Reddit for the upcoming Friday playtest. If you're new here, I post 2 to 3 Battlefield videos a week and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon, covering everything Battlefield 6 related. So if you want to keep in touch with the game, consider subscribing, liking and commenting the video. Without wasting your time any further, let's get into the patch notes, starting with the player patch notes. Players should now be able to return to the lobby after changing field specializations. I've heard about this being a problem when you change the spec. You couldn't do it, now you can do it. You can now be run over while killed with a stationary weapon, sounds good. Revive will no longer break while aiming a grenade, okay. Aim assist is now added to open seat vehicles. This basically confirms that there is a console playtest happening at the same time, and probably there's gonna be crossplay as well if aim assist is added. You can now do first person takedowns while on a moving platform. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, that basically confirms that there is first person takedowns in Battlefield 6 playtest. Improved consistency while vaulting and throwing Z4. Vaulting through windows has been improved, so you can vault through windows now, which is nice. I'm not sure if you could do this before. In the clips I've seen you couldn't do it. Now apparently they've improved it. Sounds nice. You will now switch back to your previously used weapon after a first person takedown. Enemy skill can now be picked up, providing more consistency in the pickup flow. Alright, you will no longer fly when jumping behind some... What? You could fly when vaulting over things? That reminds me of a specific Battlefield 4 bug. Zuzu, Ruzu, Muzu, Wuzu, Slither, and all these other fun bugs. I guess they're fixing that, so if you're a Battlefield 4 enjoyer, you won't be able to do that anymore in Battlefield 6. Duration and height for the combat dive are heavily reduced. Combat dive is a movement tag, so if you hate movement, this is great news for you. I'm not sure what they mean duration and height exactly. Like, can you not combat dive anymore from specific heights? We're gonna have to see. Weapons. You can now customize your weapons. You can now enter the test range through the weapon customization menu. Hey, the test range is back, but this is great. We actually never saw anything from the test range in Battlefield 6 playtest leaks. This is great. Test range back. Great. Test range is also great for creators because I can go there, modify guns, and show you guys the guns very quickly. Gadgets and spawn beacons can now be repaired by the repair tool. Wow. I don't think we've ever had this in any Battlefield game. If we had, then correct me. Unintended effects cannot be removed from zoom-in scopes. ADS on the M320, M320 is the Pro Pipe, is now working as intended. Improvements to the weapon mounting functionality, okay. The M84 flashbang now features a new texture, okay. And it's just a bunch of changes to the, seems to be consistency of weapons. The incendiary grenade now deals damage over time. Wait, it didn't deal damage over time before? Sounds like a bug. The RPG will now be resupplied by crates. So it's just a bunch of bug fixes here for Marketing. And Sledgehammer now only deals damage to light vehicles. Wow, you could Sledgehammer tanks in the older tech. Okay, that's pretty funny. Gadgets. Deployable cover can now be placed without issues. Behavior of the defibrillator is improved to act in a more consistent manner. Alright, the adrenaline shot now features a new texture. The adrenaline shot now counters the flashbang effect. Is the adrenaline shot, is this the heal I'm thinking, like the McKay heal, that's just like a heal? Interesting. Gadgets that are placed in the world can now be pinged as calls to friendly players. Very cool. So that means we have a Comoros as well, which is nice. The AEDOS system can now be picked up from the ground as intended, and improved placement features for the system. Okay, pretty interesting stuff. Let's carry on. Vehicles. Improved first-person view while in the external seat of the vehicle. There will now be an outgoing damage VFX when hitting a tank. Pretty cool. It's nice to know when you're hitting a vehicle. Added speed boost to all ground vehicles. Whoa, whoa. So the vehicles were too slow. I guess that was the feedback from all the tank drivers and the LV drivers. Now they're gonna be faster, or how are they gonna be faster? Added a speed boost. It's gonna be maybe a short burst of speed with sprint. Maybe it's gonna be unlimited, maybe it's gonna be limited. Not sure, we're gonna have to see. Improved mouse sensitivity for ground vehicle passenger seats. Oh my god, I heard about this. Like, you could crank your sensitivity to the max as a tank gunner, and you would move slow as molasses. So this is fixed now, which is nice. Players inside of the vehicle will no longer be affected by the M320 thermobaric round. Yep, I heard them taking damage when they were shot by this version of Pro Pipe. That's fixed now. The out of bounds message now shows while you are in the vehicle. Okay, that's very nice. It's good for me when I'm gonna be base raping in my tank video. That's gonna show. I'm just kidding. Maps and modes. Improved effects for the capture zone and conquest. Hey, a few people who really hated those outlines, that's specifically what they're speaking about. Those outlines might now be better, or you could maybe even remove them, or you could lower the opacity of them now so they don't bother you so much anymore. Nice touch. I know a lot of people complain about this, so it's very nice to see that doing it. Then some VFX is now visible. General improvements to the spawn system. Doors now react to weapon fire and grenade damage. Hey, some graphic improvements. It's nice to see wear and tear on doors and walls and so on. Lean, peak, and vaulting indicators now appear in world as intended. Okay, so now we know that there's lean, peak, and vaulting. The change loaded button should now work correctly when you deploy into the map, and destruction has been improved across all maps and modes. I mean, you've seen the destruction video they posted a couple days ago, so I'm guessing that's what they're uploading this Friday as well. So we're gonna see how that plays out as well. UI and HUD. UI iconography is now improved for most weapons. The Claymore icon is now visible both on the minimap and in the game world. Hit markers are now consistent against infantry and vehicles. The kill guard infographic now shows the thermobaric round. Resupply information has been updated to clearly show the number of grenades and other items restocks. So this is just a bunch of UI changes. I'm not going to go over all of them, but the one that is important is the FPS counter has now updated to show the client FPS and not the server tick rate. This is, however, still a work in progress. Very good. You couldn't see your FPS in the game. You had to run a overlay. The problem is when you run the overlay, sometimes your game crashes. So now that works. Perhaps people can now modify also their user CFGs inside the game, which is great. Settings, several improvements to the options menu. Ping is now an option to display via the options menu. Bunch of quality of life changes here. Audio. Multiple VOs added for pinging soldiers and objectives. Great option. I mean, we need the voice lines for those things. And multiple fixes have also been added. Audio added to the loading screen, audio fixes to the Comoros callouts. This is great. The Comoros was buggy, I heard, and it seems they're now updating also the Comoros. There was also talks about the Comoros being very similar to Battlefield 3, like in vulgarity and profanity. Your guy will scream all types of obscene things. I also mentioned in one of my previous videos that this is what I was hearing when I was watching a stream from the first leaks. Like the guys were yelling some crazy stuff like they did in BF3. So I guess this is it. Then we have VFX and video, several improvements to the kill cam. When downed in a vehicle, the camera will now rotate towards the enemy that you look at. The camera is now connected to the player and will follow the soldiers while dying. You know what? It's very important to have a very good kill cam in Battlefield. One of the main things I hated in Battlefield 4 when the game first launched, the kill cam was so buggy. It felt disgusting when you died to somebody. Your guy just ragdolled across the map and there was like a horrific sound effect to it. And it just didn't feel good. It felt cheap. I really wanted this to smooth out. I think Battlefield 3 kill cam was perfect. You saw who killed you. You saw where he was going. You could give a nice call out. It felt good. It felt punchy when you died. I don't want any floaty feeling deaths, if that makes sense, guys. And then finally, network and matchmaking, and here it is basically. I have always been saying that they were using matchmaking for the Battlefield playtest because this is what I saw on leaks on Telegram, and now it confirms it that they are using matchmaking, guys. So if you were thinking they're using server browser, here's a leak confirmation that they are not. That's matchmaking. So what do they say? Multiple client and server side performance improvements, several improvements to the end of round matchmaking, end of round stay with squad matchmaking now work as intended. So as you can at least stay as a squad now at the end of matchmaking, which is, I guess, appreciated. And now DLSS now functions as intended. Great, I want to use DLSS 4 if I get my chance to play the game. And improvements to damage, arbitration, and tracking, we are now better suited to find issues where functionality, blah, blah, blah. And the source is Vanik, the leaker. This is probably a person who is inside there, is leaking everything. And it has been, so far, proven correct. So, in many cases, anyway. So, yeah, this is the Friday patch notes, guys. It's going to be massive. It's happening this Friday, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. Check that you check your email. The thing goes into spam folder for many people, so you still have a chance to play, at least on PC. I'm not sure how this works on console, but it should be the same email. And as I mentioned in my previous video, you will need a Discord account. If you are not, well versed in Discord stuff, you will need a Discord account because they will require you to have it to play the game. This is how they're going to control the leaks, or attempt to. As you see, it doesn't work very well, but still, it's going to be required of you. And that's basically it for the video. It was a fast one, guys. I just wanted to give you a massive update, patch notes, so we go over it together. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscription, and a comment for the algo. And I'll see you in the next video, probably on Friday. It's going to be, of course, a gameplay video as well. Today, I didn't switch to gameplay because I would just cover the entire screen going over the patch notes. So we just did that instead. Have a nice day, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.